Hi, so I have a lot of big thoughts and big ideas about my campaign setting. I've got the cosmic stuff. I've got the international intrigue. But is it too big? Do my players care about that stuff? Am I losing sight of what matters to them? I'm just writing lore for myself because lore writing is fun. In this video, which might turn into a series, I'm going to investigate a specific spot on my world map that I don't know much about and flesh it out so that it feels alive and real for my players. What better place to start than one of my player characters' hometowns? This is Kirkton, home of Gerald Crenshaw, played by Matt Staley. Today on Dropping a Pin. In a world, I'm just kidding. Nearly 800 years ago, when the first human colonies arrived in what is now Perennia, they brought with them their gods, called the Balances. The pantheon is comprised of only two gods. There was the Father, or the One Before, whose domain is the past, wisdom, tradition, darkness, the earth. And there was the Daughter, yet to be. Her domain is the future, hope, change, creativity, the sun, light. One of the first churches that humans built in Perennia is still standing to this day. It can be found nestled in Fairdale Valley, a pastoral region mainly occupied by farmers happy to escape the crowded port cities. The design of the church was an outward manifestation of the tenets of the religion. The architecture below ground was a mirror image of that above. The grand torch tower, a gleaming tribute to the fiery passion of the Daughter, had its echo underground, where a sepulchral well allowed worshippers to seek the Father in times of reflection and contemplation. As you would expect of such a landmark, the church grew to attract visitors, pilgrims and tourists alike, and unsurprisingly, a town quickly grew up around it. This town, Kirkton, became the heart of Fairdale Valley and an economic tentpole of northern Perennia. It is home to the country's most respected broadsheet, the Kirkton newsletter, where some of the Empire's foremost critical minds got their start. The Kirkton newsletter archives, open to the public now for 60 years, provides an exhaustive education on the history of the Empire to those who could never afford a formal education. Those more interested in the future of the Empire may gather in the Ink Pot, a pub that has hosted some of the country's most vital debates between history's brightest minds. For all the spectacular scholarly resources in Kirkton, the church continues to be the town's most beloved attraction, offering visitors a first-hand look at Perennia's history. Although not a complete picture, for the underground levels of the church have been filled in, sealed off, and all but forgotten. 189 years ago, far to the south, in the capital city of Perennia, King Isaiah Neria II was anxious to prove himself. He sought to leave a lasting mark on history and to divorce the Empire's identity from their former tyrants across the sea. In this effort, he appoints as leader of the Church of the Balances an enigmatic religious teacher known as Renevna. Depending on who you ask, Renevna was either a dangerous and self-serving iconoclast or a groundbreaking visionary. She enacted a bottom-up reconstruction of the Church of the Balances, a movement enforced upon imperial citizens by law. This movement denied the very existence of the Father, claiming that the idea of the One Before was only ever an illusion, meant to comfort us while we await the arrival of the One Yet to Be. The church now exclusively worshipped the Daughter, though under a new name. The Balances were no more, not in the perennial empire. There was only the light. A new dogma quickly evolved around the light. New vocabulary, new teachings. The church in historic Kirkton was converted and renamed the Priory of the Infinite Wick. The torch tower still burns bright as ever. Daily life looks much the same as it did. The Kirkton newsletter is still printed by the monks of the Priory and distributed monthly to every corner of the country. Life goes on in Kirkton. But below the priory, choked by dirt, a deep well yet remains, a well which once served as a reminder of the reverence and wisdom and well-placed caution of a god long forgotten. Forgotten by most. Of all the cities in Perennia, Kirkton is not one to forget their history. Patrons debating at the ink pot can be heard to invoke the name of the Father in their whispered arguments. And though Imperial officers attempted to scrub the Kirkton newsletter archives of all mention of the Father, they were not entirely successful. Fragments of memories for those who go looking. Those desperate for the truth, who wish to uncover pieces of the past that have been taken from them, can find kindred spirits in Kirkton. That's it for today. I found that very useful. If you like what I did with this video, tell me and I can do more of these. Also, if this is our first introduction, hi, I'm Austin. You can watch the campaign that's related to this video, by the way. It's called Deepest Darkness. It's on this channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.